This is my shiny Corviknight, and if I can't solo the league with only him, I'm gonna have to surprise trade him away. Taught him Drill Peck, Body Slam to try and get paralysis, Iron Head, and Heavy Slam. His sassy nature increases his special defense but lowers his speed. I also used an ability capsule to change his ability to Unnerve, meaning that enemy Pokemon won't be able to use berries. I actually completely forgot to put an item on him for the first fight, but after that I'm going to use citrus berries. As for the rules, I have to invite Leon to this fight because he's the hardest fight in the game. You have to beat the entire battle tower and get to max rank in order to fight him. I can't use items in battle apart from held items, and if my Pokemon faints, I have to surprise trade it away. We're up against Vega first. She's one of the additional trainers added to the league after you beat it. If you don't know who she is, she uses water type Pokemon. She starts with her Pelipper with the ability Drizzle setting up the rain. Kind of annoying, but it shouldn't be too much of an issue. I decided to go for a drill pack first and see what we could do. I think Corviknight's one of the coolest looking shinies, to be honest. He looks more like a Skarmory evolution like this. Anyway, drill pack takes the Pelipper down in one hit, and next up is our Gyarados. This is actually kind of annoying since it has Intimidate, and I don't have any way to bring my attack back up after it's fallen. I decided to go for a drill pack again since it did so well the first time, and I'm hoping for another one hit KO. It doesn't quite go like that, but I kind of expected it. She used the Dragon Dance next, and one more drill pack is going to take her down. But since she's raised her speed, I'm not sure we're going to hit first. Manages to get her attack off first, and it's an Aqua Tail. This is going to be Rain boosted and Dragon Dance boosted, so I'm really surprised that it only did so little damage. We managed to take the Gyarados down with our next drill pack, and next up is our Barraskewda. This thing doesn't really concern me, to be honest. It's quite a weak Pokemon, but it is quite quick actually. It manages to outspeed us and hit us with a liquidation, which shouldn't do too much, even though it's rain boosted. We're still not even at half health now, as we hit a body slam. Almost a one hit KO on the Barraskewda, so I just go for another body slam again. It's a shame we couldn't get the paralysis off, but we're definitely going to take it down now. It takes us into the orange, and this would proc our citrus berry had I remembered to put it on, which I completely forgot about. That's a really dangerous thing to do when I'm risking a shiny. I don't know why I did that. Got Seismitoad next, and this could be a problem, but to be fair, I don't think it's going to have any moves that can actually damage us. No ground type moves are going to hurt us, and most of its water type moves are probably going to be quite weak. It goes for a liquidation and doesn't even take us into the red. That means one more drill pack should be enough to take it out. He's only got one Pokemon left, and for some reason, these random trainers don't have a Dynamax Pokemon like the other trainers do, so you kind of luck out if you get one of these. Her Arachnid's weak to Drill Peck, so we take it out in one hit. It was a critical hit, which I'm not sure if we needed, but I'll still take it. I'm more than happy to get a crit. Anyway, that's Vega down, and it's on to the next one. And this time, I actually remembered to put the Citrus Berry on him. I was thinking of using Leftovers, but I left it on one of my other Pokemon, and it was in the PC, so I couldn't even retrieve it. Raihan's up next, and I didn't really know how to feel about this until I started thinking about his team members. His Duraludon is going to be a big issue since we don't really have anything that's going to damage it, and he's going to Dynamax it. He also starts with a Torkoal, which fire attacks are going to be super effective against our Steel type. He also sets up Drought, which is going to make his fire attacks even more dangerous. I start with a Body Slam, just in case I can get the paralysis off. Maybe that way he'll be paralysed and won't be able to hit us with a fire type move. Our Body Slam doesn't even take it below half health, and we don't get the paralysis as he goes for a Lava Plume. It doesn't do as much as I thought it would, even though it's super effective, and luckily he doesn't get the burn. I decide to go for a Drill Peck next turn since I know it does a bit more damage and I think we can take it out. Luckily we do, and he's on to his next Pokemon, a Turtonator. This is kind of annoying since now he's got another fire type with the sun out, and I know this thing's going to use Shell Trap, but I don't really have any answer to it, so I'm just going to have to attack. I go for Drill Peck, and sure enough, he uses his Shell Trap. It hits us back for quite a decent bit of damage. We're all the way down to the red now, but at least our Citrus Berry procs. It takes us back up into the low orange, and we're going to go for a Drill Peck next turn. I'm not sure how Shell Trap works here, and I actually thought I might go down because I thought it might hit you before he faints, but luckily it doesn't. We managed to take him out, and we're moving on to the next Pokemon, but we're really low on health now. He sends out his Goodra next, which is quite squishy, so we should be able to take it down with one Iron Head. We managed to hit, and it goes down. I actually thought that was a critical hit when it went down, but it never popped up, so it obviously wasn't. We're just that strong. He sends in his Flygon next, and I don't have a great answer to this, so I just go for Iron Head since it did so well last time. It hits pretty hard, and the Flygon survives with a tiny little slither. Luckily, we get the flinch off, and we manage to go for another Drill Peck and outspeed again, taking this one down with no trouble. That's 2 of his Pokemon taken out without even taking any damage. His Duraludon's up next, and he's going to Dynamax it. We don't have a single move that's effective against it, but I actually don't think it has anything that's effective against us either. So this is just going to be a battle of attrition now. Whoever can last the longest is going to win. If we can get through the 3 Dynamax turns, we should be able to last, and then we can probably finish it off. I think since we're a higher level, we should be able to do a little bit more damage every turn, and I'm kind of unhappy with how much health we've got left, but I feel like we can do this. I went for Heavy Slam since I wasn't sure if when it's Dynamaxed it would count as being really, really heavy, but for some reason it just didn't even work. I didn't realise that you can't use Heavy Slam against the Dynamax Pokemon. He hits me with a Max Rockfall and sets up a Sandstorm. Luckily, neither of our Pokemon are going to be damaged by it. I actually messed up the recording a little bit there, but I'm pretty sure I used Iron Head to do that damage. He goes for a max depletion, and it did pretty much nothing, to be honest. We're going to go next turn with a different move, since Iron Head didn't really do that much damage, and I think if I go for a Body Slam, I might be able to get the paralysis off. We hit the Body Slam, and I'm pretty sure it did basically the same amount of damage as Iron Head, but we do actually manage to get the paralysis this time. He goes for a Max Knuckle, which I don't think is even going to do as much as his last attack. It does take us down to the red, and it's getting really dangerous now, especially with his attack raising. His Dynamax turns are over now, and hopefully that means we're going to do a little bit more damage to him, and he's going to do less damage to us. I wanted to go for Heavy Slam here, but I wasn't confident that I knew the reason that it didn't work last time. I feel like it was because he was Dynamaxed, but if it wasn't, I would have wasted a turn, and I wasn't prepared to risk that, so I just went for Iron Head twice. We hit the second Iron Head, and by some miracle, we've taken the Duraludon down with just 18 HP left. That's Raihan defeated, and that means we've only got one left, and we know who it's going to be since we invited him ourselves. It is, of course, the champion Leon. I guess he's not champion anymore since we've taken his title, but he's desperate to take it back from us. This Gigantamax Charizard is going to be super effective against us, and I'm not even confident we could survive one hit from that thing. We also don't really have a great move to take it out, so we're just going to have to hope for the best. He's also got 4 other really strong Pokemon that he's going to fight with first, and he sends out his Aegislash. I didn't really think about this thing. I don't know how I'm going to fight it. I don't have a single move that can damage it very well. I'm just going to go for Iron Head and see how much damage it does. He uses King's Shield first, and then I realise what he's going to be doing. He's just going to keep protecting and then attacking me, and then protecting and then attacking me. This is also going to lower my attack every single time he does it. There's not really anything I can do in retaliation, and it seems like I'm going to be at -6 attack for the rest of the fight, even if I take Aegislash down. This is when I see how much damage he does with Shadow Ball. I'm probably going to have to take at least another 5 of these, and I'm not even sure that we could survive it. I'm going to keep trying just in case, but this is looking pretty grim, to be honest. Every time I go for a new attack, he defends, and every time he defends, my attack drops. I'm going to try Heavy Slam here, and of course he defends. I was thinking of going for Body Slam to try and get the paralysis off, but I feel like Aegislash, since he's metal, would be really heavy, so I thought that attack would actually do a lot of damage. Obviously, as you just saw, it doesn't. His next Shadow Ball hits, and doesn't quite get us into the orange. I went for another Iron Head next, and in hindsight, I probably should have gone for Body Slam. I should also add that I'm not allowed to Dynamax my Pokemon. That's one of the rules that I set for myself in these challenges. If I could Dynamax, I could probably take this thing down and then move on to his next Pokemon, but by the time I got to Charizard, I wouldn't be able to Dynamax anyway, and it'll probably do a lot of damage with its Max Wildfire. I managed to get the flinch off with Iron Head, and out of desperation, I tried a Drill Peck just to see how much damage it would do. It did basically nothing, and I'm probably just going to have to go back to using my other moves. I'm not sure why I didn't use Body Slam. If I got the paralysis off, I might actually be able to survive this. He activates our Citrus Berry, which puts us back up into the green, but it's probably too little too late now. I go for another Iron Head to try and get another flinch, and it's really not doing any damage. Probably another 3 of those is going to be enough to take him down, but with his Shadow Ball every single turn taking about 50 damage from us, we're going to be left with a Slither even if we finish him off. He uses King's Shield again, which means my attack's going down another time. We have only physical attacking moves, and every time our attack goes down, our entire arsenal gets weaker. I considered adding a stat boosting move instead of Heavy Slam, and I'm really regretting not doing that now. At least every time I take this league on and fight different trainers, I'll learn new things. I know now not to go against Leon with just physical attacking moves, so in future I'll be prepared for this Aegislash. We finally knocked it down into the red, and with that he hits us with one final Shadow Ball, taking Corviknight down.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Leon's managed to take us down without us even beating one of his Pokemon. That's actually devastating, and I'm now going to have to trade my lovely shiny Corviknight. It's going over to someone called Matt, and we'll see what we get in return. He's actually sent us an Axew, which is pretty good to be honest. I might actually train this thing up and use it in one of my challenges. It's a shame we lost Corviknight, but it was a fun video to make, and I've definitely learnt a lesson for next time. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and I'll see you in the next video.